Okay, guys. I hope you're doing well. We are live now. Just a quick mention. Um, Let me see if I can get this done. Here we go. So this is our YouTube. This is our Facebook page, guys. So on the Facebook page, I just posted this online nutrition post. If you got any questions while we're going over the all manuals, please drop them there. That'll be probably much easier for communication instead of using YouTube. So if you got any questions, use our Facebook group. Unless you're not using the Facebook, then drop me a message. I'll have my phone next to me. So if your question pops up on the WhatsApp, I'll also be able to answer as we go. Apart from that, I hope you're doing well. I hope you enjoyed your first day of bootcamp. The way we're gonna get organized, I hope you have a little bit of time to go over all the manuals in your spare time after our chat, just to make sure you're totally happy with everything. You can start pre-planning your food. Have a look also the Village Gym app. Majority of you been either my client or you had some sort of history with me, if that makes sense, regarding the training. Most of you either are or been a Village Gym members. So remember, even if you're not currently the Village Gym member, your app, which is the Village Gym app or my wellness app, will be still active. Your account will be still active, and I've used it to upload your workouts. If you don't have them on your app, they're called Workout 8 30-day challenge, Workout B 30-day challenge, and there is also a circuit, which I will talk about later on. So if you don't have them on your app, then please let me know, because that means there's some complication, and I will upload it again. Okie dokie, guys. I hope you're all happy. I hope you're all tuning in. It will be recorded, so you'll be able to basically watch this at your spare time as many times as you like. It's already 5 past, so I'll just go dive into it. Okay, let me go add this to the stage. Here we go. So this is a 30-day manual which I've sent to you. I hope you got it. They were all sent through WhatsApp. I will probably use WhatsApp for sending all the files because it's much easier, and majority of us are using phones these days anyway. If you want this pack to be sent to your email, again, just drop me a message. There won't be an issue. I can send that. I can send that to your email anytime you like. So 30 days. Straight away, guys, what I want to highlight, guys, it's only a 30 days. It's a month where I'm sure we all can stay focused and accountable, stay away from all the foods which we probably love so much, but they're not necessarily good for us or good for our waistline. We are here for a reason, and we have to attack this with a purpose. So in order to make this work, guys, this structure, the main role of the eating structure is to make you as healthy as possible, to remove as many problematic factors, to make sure your fat loss is easy, smooth, and actually enjoyable. As you know, I stepped away from calorie counting years ago because the calorie counting is quite tough work, if that makes sense. But if some of you want to stick to the calorie counting by using my Fitness Pal or other apps, I will totally support you with this, and you've got my total respect for committing to it and actually putting everything through what you're eating. If you do so, I will recommend it to you. I personally don't really use the calorie counting. I use what I would promote with this manual, which is the portion size control. As when you finish your 30 days, I hope some of those kind of recommendations, they're not really rules, the recommendations gonna stick with you for many years ahead. So in order to make this as successful as possible, we have to have protein in every meal. Protein is number one success factor because it's not just about satiety. It's about repairing every bit of your body when it's under stress. And physical activity is one of the stresses which your body will be put under. So make sure you're having your protein with every single meal because it's going to keep you fuller for longer and we're going to help you recover so you can come back another day to hit your gym session or be super focused at work. So this is unconditional, guys. The protein, you can cut all the foods from your diet, but the protein is the one which you cannot really sacrifice. With dropping your protein portion in your daily schedule, you're at risk of losing your muscle mass. Muscle mass is the only storage place for excess of protein. So when there is not enough of it, your body will happily give away. And if the muscle is starting to be affected, also your bones will be affected, your strength will be affected, and what follows with it will be your immune system. So you'll be more likely to get ill, depressed, and so on. So the protein has to be present with every single meal. Okay, guys? And we're starting right with the breakfast. I've also sent you a 30-day food examples with plenty delicious ideas. I also will plug in one of my favorite recipe books. So you got more ideas what to do, but you have to actually a little bit tweak it because it's not really super specific to our 30 days. As you probably know, if you had a quick glance through the manual, we're going to try to really limit our starches as much as possible. So vegetables, it's a number 2 priority, as the vegetables going to build the bulk of your meal. This is what really going to make you feel full. Also, we know the fiber is one of the most important factors for general health. We got no processed food and sugars, as they're going to clog up the system and make our life much, much harder. With eating quite unnecessary sugar, your blood sugar will spike, your insulin will be affected, and you'll be more likely to actually crave and look for those sweeties all day long. I'm personally a chocoholic, and I know I cannot have even a tiniest bit. If I do, I automatically get hunger for it, and I'll be looking like a desperate human for anything that's chocolate in the house. So the easiest rule for myself is to say, no, Adrian, don't have it. It's not worth it. Controlled portions. Guys, at the end of the day, if we want to lose body fat or we want to lose weight, we have to eat less than the body requires. And it's been proven multiple times. You can have the healthiest diet in the world, but still, if you're not going to slightly cut your portion size, you won't really lose a pound. Your body will be the healthiest it's ever been. You're going to function the best it ever functioned. But if you're not going to control your portion, you won't get anywhere. Okay? So we have to touch on something as hunger. If you are a little bit hungry, that's a good sign that you're doing your job well. And excessive or crazy hunger is probably that you're going too hard. I mean, if you're gonna go hard and strip your food, instead of having 3 meals, 2 meals, maybe 1 meal a day, you will definitely feel some hunger. But with the aggressive cut of calories, the hunger will go up. So you can either just suck it up and go for it, or you can choose more moderate approach and stick to your 3 meals. And as we go across our 30 days, start reducing it bit by bit to keep boosting your progress. Okay, so how we gonna set our portion sizing is pretty simple. For your protein, we're going for grams of the meat, so 125 to 150 grams of meat, depending on your hunger, depending what you're used to eat. And when the easiest way to approach this, when you buy a pack of meat and it's 500 grams, divided to 4 portions. Simple as that. I don't want you really to weight your food. I want you to eyeball it and use what I like to call it common sense for your portion sizing. We've got 3 to 4 eggs. If you cannot eat 3, 2 are totally fine. If you want to mix and match, for example, have maybe 1 egg and then have, 100 grams of smoked salmon, or maybe 2 heck lean sausages, that's totally fine as well with me. I want you to enjoy your food. 350 to 450 grams of high protein, low carb dairy products like skyr yogurt, or even cheese like hard cheese or cottage cheese or quark cheese is totally fine. I'm personally a big lover of hard cheeses like Parmesan. I could basically eat the whole block, which will be, of course, allowed for you as well. But just bear in mind that the hard cheeses are quite high in calories as well. So just take an extra note with that. Fats, 20 to 40 grams each meal, guys, or 2 to 4 tablespoons flat. Remember, when we measure your tablespoon, it's a flat, not with a little, with a little hill on it. Any healthy fats like avocados, nuts, seeds, olive oil, and the fatty fish boosts metabolism, reduce cravings, which are absolutely fantastic. So please have it. If you're gonna have your free meals, and they will be, respectively big with your meat and vegetables, and you're still having your fruit, and you feel like your hunger is driving you crazy, the probability is you're not having enough fat, and your body is just telling you that you might affect your hormonal balance. So please have a little bit of fat with each meal, wherever is possible. And the fruit, for those fruit cravings, guys, you can go crazy with it. If you're buying the pack of blueberries, which are usually 150 grams, I want you to have a whole pack. Apple, ideally medium size. Even if it's a big apple, that's still totally fine. The grapes, just if you're buying the 500 gram, the whole big pack of your grapes, just half it. Like I said, eyeball it, don't really measure it. It will be totally fine. You can't go wrong with the fruit. It's full of minerals and vitamins, and also it's a good, great hydration. And like we said, it should fight against your sweet cravings. 3 meals a day is what I will personally recommend it to you. If you're training every single day, you could probably benefit from the protein shake here and there. If you've got more questions about it, just talk to me. 3 meals is what I'll suggest you. If you feel like you want to push things harder, we can talk about probably taking away 1 meal to only 2 meals a day. I know some of you are already thinking, what the hell? But believe me, it's possible. If you're going to give it a try, I'm sure you're going to function pretty well. As soon as you're cutting your meals from 3 to 2, you need to make sure you're eating the amount of meat like you have in your 3 meals. So if you're having, for example, 125 to 150 within 3 meals, this is how much meat you want to eat within your 2 meals as well. So automatically, what we're cutting is a little bit of fat and fruit. Like I said, guys, if you're ever going to decide to go hardcore and drop your food to 2 meals, because you feel like on the 3 meals you're not progressing fast enough, or you want to really go crazy with it, just talk to me either on Facebook or send me a message, and I'll guide you how to do it. Next one, hydration is something where people really not paying much attention to it, but when you are dehydrated, the body will struggle to remove the toxins, will struggle to remove and transport your nutrition, like minerals and vitamins, to the places that they require the most. So please, guys, 2 to 3 liters, and ideally of water on the top of your coffee and tea, whatever is possible. You can't go wrong with it. What highly suggested is to add a pinch of salt. Just buy a good quality salt with maybe a little bit squeeze of lemon or orange. Maybe just a little squeeze of orange. If you got a fresh orange, don't add the fresh orange juice per se, because it's quite high in sugar, so it might take you actually out of your fast if you're going to decide to drink it in the morning or night. But drinking the water with a pinch of salt and squeeze lemon going to definitely bring the electrolytes and the minerals to your body, which is going to help your water to be absorbed and utilized by the body. So when hungry, those days will come for sure, when you've got the moments where you may be sitting at night or through the day when you're at work and you feel like you could basically eat your own hands. So as you can see, I'll give you a couple examples of what will be the best solution to fight against the hunger. So anything high protein will definitely keep you fuller for longer and support your fat loss. If you're craving something super sweet and you know that the protein is not going to do it, then have a little bit more fruit, okay? And that's usually it's exact jackpot that you need. Fasting, guys, there is a lot of benefits to fasting. There is some controversy ongoing regarding the females, but even if you read some controversies, you will still benefit from it. We have to go through the stages where your body is being fed, and the phase where you're actually dropping and utilizing all the food that you consumed, what provides the gastric emptying. Only at those points where you're not eating your food is where you're actually burning body fat. So what you want to avoid is consistent snacking. Some of you in the past years been asking me if they can eat the meat and vegetables and fats as a meal and then maybe snack on a fruit in between the meals. So this is automatically, I'll tell you, not ideal. Make sure you're having your big meals, stuff yourself as much as you can within the reason, and then make sure you got that period of 2 to 3 hours between the meals when you have no food and you drink it just ideally 0 calorie like water with salt and lemon in between, as those periods are the one which is going to promote the gastric emptying, going to balance your insulin, and this is where the magic happens regarding the fat loss. No alcohol going to cause actually quite a lot of problem, even the small amounts. If you can, run away from it. If you can't run away from it, I totally understand. We all got busy schedules, but if you can limit it, it will definitely help you out. Dark chocolate, as I mentioned, I'm a chocoholic, but there is actually a benefit from the high quality, high concentration of cocoa in a chocolate, which is going to drive the polyphenols. The polyphenols are strong antioxidants, so there is some longevity and a health benefit associated with it, and also it can help you with some of those chocolate cravings. Pre-planning the food, guys. This is basically a nitty-gritty for our success. Pre-planning the food, it's an exercise which over the years I've noticed plays the biggest role in the success. If you pre-plan your food, even if you're not going to stick to it 100%, pre-planning gives you, apart from the visual, gives you a mental exercise that when you're actually rushing, for example, going back from work to your home, you've got a rough plan in your head, which you already set it up ahead of a day, and it's easier to think on the spot of what to eat. If you see me moving, it's because my cats are going crazy. They're trying to join me. Here you go. There's one which basically claw my back. If you saw my stoic face, believe me, I was screaming inside because I could feel claws on my back. Guys, so pre-planning is definitely an exercise. I know. I will suggest you to sit down twice a week, maybe 3 times a week, to pre-plan your food of what you're going to have for your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. First of all, just to give you an ideas of different meals so you can make your eating more interesting, more colorful. Helps you to pre-plan the shopping so you're not going to waste too much time in the shop itself. I'm going to keep the boredom away from your eating. On the other hand, if you want to eat exactly the same food for a whole week, there's no objections with me. The more variety we have, the better for us, because you're gonna get a bigger mix of minerals and vitamins. But if you like being consistent and eating exactly the same, that's totally fine. I'm eating probably the same meals for 3 days before I switch it. Weekly check-ins. All right, food pictures. Food pictures, apart from them being for you as a good archive of what foods you've been eating, what foods you've been maybe liking in the past, it's good to snap a picture, and especially to post in a group so we can all share the ideas. But it also gives me a chance to assess your portion size, guys. If I'll see that you're not having enough meat or enough vegetables, or if you're saying that you're still hungry, it gives me something to base my decisions. I can always advise you then to eat something more, or if I see that eating maybe too much, that you have to trim it down. Also give me an opportunity to tell you that. So please post your food as much as you can on our Facebook group. It's always good to see what everybody else are doing. I'm gonna try to post it as well. Unfortunately, at the beginning of the year, I'm trying to put on weight, so my food probably will look slightly different to what you are doing right now, but I'll do my best to share as much as I can with my favorite meals. Weekly check-ins, guys. Weekly check-ins. Some of you are shy, some of you are not. Please send them on my email where possible, or on the WhatsApp if you like to using WhatsApp. The weekly check-ins is the only way for me to actually decide and see how you do it on the plan. We want to see what's the most important, to see a visual change within your body and inches. Seeing the kilograms, the weight dropping on a scale is fantastic. I know this is what people crave the most. But at the end of the day, if you're skinny, nobody asks you how heavy you are. They're just doing wow to your physical appearance. What I also advise my clients, please find a piece of clothing, like a dress, maybe trousers, or maybe a t-shirt that you would like to fit, be reasonable within your 30 days. Or what's even better, try to pick one clothing which fits you comfortably and try to put it on again after 30 days to see if it becomes slacker. Having a number as a proof of your progress is great, but actually physically feeling it in a clothes that were fitting you just fine and then became baggy gives you way more self-satisfaction for a well done job. So try to find something that you are not fitting right now, so you've got a visual representation of your progress, something what's fitting you perfectly right now and what's getting slacker later on. And like I say, I will be highly recommending you to send me weekly check-ins. I will be bothering you about it because I want to see how great you're doing as well. Consistency, we can't really skip it. So being on the ball, focus on the job being done is important. Being only 6 days good and 1 day bad, being 5 days good and 2 days bad won't really take you where you want to. So please make a contract with yourself, shake your own hand and promise yourself that you're going to stay and do and try the hardest you can to smash those 30 days. And I'm sure you'll be happy by the end of it. Good. So pre-planning, for example, this is how I like to pre-plan my food. I like a table of meal 1 to 3. I like to have a protein, veg, fruit, and fats. I know I don't miss anything. I write it down exactly my favorite choice for my breakfast, my favorite choice for my lunch, my favorite choice for my dinner. Believe it or not, that's actually how I pre-plan the food for my household as well. So we ordering shopping every Wednesday and Saturday. And on a Tuesday night and a Friday night, I will sit down actually and I'll write this down to make sure my wife is happy, my kids are happy with my choices, and that actually saves us heaps of money on not wasting any food. So I highly recommend you to do the same, just to make sure you're not going to miss anything. Next one, it's a 3-hour rule fast. This is something what I like to call a mild fast, because majority of the fasting time happens when you're sleeping. Probably the most important part of the fast is stopping eating 3 hours before your bed. You want your body not really to waste too much energy or put too much focus on digesting the food while you're sleeping. So being just a little bit hungry as you go into the bed will help your cellular repair, will help your brain, will help you to actually wake up super fresh in the morning. And what you might be surprised, you're actually going to have more energy in the morning by fasting those 3 to 4 hours before your bed, comparing if you'll be actually super fed or ate just before going to bed. So 3 to 4 hours before you go to bed, then you ideally should sleep between 7 to 8 hours. If you're sleeping less, your body needs less. That's totally fine. After waking up, you want to kind of stay away from the food for those 2 to 3 hours as well to extend the fasting period where the magic happens, and then you're going to have your first meal. If you're training in the morning, then it's totally fine. You can have the food straight after your training or when you're going to get to work, and you're going to still get the great benefits. There is what I'm finding pretty cool information. I try to explain it as much as I can. Why I'm a big fan of fasting through the night in general and how you can benefit. And there is a little bit more. We all probably heard about the current fat loss drugs circling around, and how do they come up with it is because of those fasted states, about those times in between the meals when the gastric emptying happens. They've noticed that there is a certain hormone that is being released through your gastric, and through that hormone they basically synthesize it, and we got our current Ozempic, Manjaro, and many more under different names on the market, where people obviously highly benefiting right now. So we can achieve similar results in a natural way by just sticking to our mild fast, which I highly recommend it to you guys. Sprints is a cardio exercise which is going to take your heart rate to extreme, where we're trying to apply maximum effort for a really short period of time, followed by a long resting period. Okay, guys? If you're going to attempt the sprint for your 20 or 30 seconds, and you're going to stop, and you feel like in 30 seconds you can go again, you didn't do your sprint properly. After your 20 to 30 seconds, you should be at a state where you cannot breathe. And this is the only way to distinguish if you've done your sprint right. It should be an absolute maximum effort. You shouldn't feel like you can push it any faster or any harder by the end of your 20 to 30 seconds. What it does, because the body loves extremes for a short period of time, it will boost your total metabolic output. So it will make you burn more calories. It causes such a chaos within the body. The body is going to take way more energy and way more precision for a few hours after to calm the body after the effect of sprint. This is definitely a tool which I love the most for fat loss. I had a great success with it in the past. And this is also the fastest way to make you, I would say, respectably fit. It's hard to start with. It should be uncomfortable. It should be hard. And every time when you're going to finish your sprint session, you should be proud of yourself. And I promise you, if you're going to stick to your sprints and you're going to do them right, at the end of your 30 days, you won't believe how much better you feel, how much stronger your heart and your lungs are. The perfect check-in, few things that you should know. We definitely want the photos, the front, side, and back. Guys and girls, you can keep your clothes on. Of course, I don't expect you to show the skin, but make sure you're wearing the clothes, which will show you by the end of it that you actually progressed. So if you're wearing super high-waisted leggings, it will be actually quite hard to see if you progress by the end of the 30 days because they actually suck in you in a lot. So if you decide to wear leggings, make sure you pull them down to your hip bones so you can clearly see the effect of your progress. The measurements, please also do them on the skin, not on the clothing. There is a few bits which will be quite important, like around your chest, so we can measure those bits underneath your armpits. We want to check the waist. You can go for a true waist, which will be above the belly button, the narrowest bit of your midsection, or you can use the belly button as a mark point. Your hips, the widest part of your body and your lower body, that's including the peak of the bum, or you can use the hip bones as a marking point. The left thigh, ideally the midpoint, so you have to look from your hip bone to the kneecap, try to find the middle. This is exactly where you want to measure. And ideally the left arm, because it will be easier to use your dominant hand. Like for example, I'm right-handed, so it's always easier to measure my left arm with my right arm rather than the other way around. If you're left-handed, then obviously measure your right arm. I hope that makes sense. If you're gonna check your weight, please do it in the morning after toilet. If you're gonna decide to use the scale at the gym, also please use it in the morning after toilet before you're gonna have any food. It's a state which is the easiest to reproduce on a weekly basis. If you're checking your weight after you had breakfast or in the evening, what you've ate, how much water you drank will actually affect your measuring. At the end of the day, if you're checking your weight on a weekly basis, we don't expect that weight to come down weekly. We definitely want your inches to come down weekly, but if we're going to compare it from the day 1 to day 30, we want to see the trend going down. Good. A little bit about cruciferous, a group of vegetables like your broccoli, cauliflower, your cabbage. They're all fantastic. They are full of fiber. They are definitely the food which is going to keep you full for a long time, but they also come with some additional benefits, which I wrote about here. That's it for a manual. I hope it's not too complicated. I've really tried to keep it as simple as possible. Like I said, if you do have any questions, just pop them in our Facebook group and I will answer them as soon as possible. A little bit about progression plan. I hope you figured it out pretty quickly what is going on. So as you can see in the right top corner, we've got Saturday, which is our day 1, which is today. So we started with the bootcamp class. I want to congratulate everyone. We did absolutely fantastic job. We pushed it hard. The atmosphere was Absolutely fantastic. You absolutely exceeded my expectation, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed watching you. Guys, day 2, the Sunday, it's a preparation day. So this is where you want to check your weight, take your pictures, check your measurements, and what's the most important, pre-plan your food. Guys, what I would like you, as a task number 1, pre-plan your food and post it on our Facebook page. Let me see how you're preparing your food. That will be actually a good exercise to make sure we're doing everything right, and also going to give me a visual so I can help you out with your choices, or maybe correct your choices, just to make sure we are on the same page. Monday will be official first day with your workouts. So you've got workout 8 to do, followed by your 5 sprints. Now, in order to do sprints, I don't mind which really cardio machine you're going to choose, or maybe you want to do them outside. That's totally fine with me. The secret with the sprint is effort. So if you're going to decide the treadmill, and you're going to set up the treadmill to a certain speed, you're going to do your 20-30 seconds, and you feel like it was all right, maybe it was hard, but you didn't literally pass out, it's not good enough. So if you feel that you cannot physically run any faster, I'll suggest you put a gradient. If you're going to make that treadmill incline, you can drop down the speed, and you'll feel that automatically your body has to work super hard to keep up with that belt. So there will be a sweet spot between the speed and a gradient where it's going to take you where you're supposed to go with each sprint, which is a near-death experience. Not because you're about to fall off, just because you cannot basically perform any better. Step machine should be really good as well. The bike, or I would say the assault bike, the one where you have to push with your arms, it's a fantastic sprint machine. You can even use a skier if you wish to. You can use the sled. Remember, we've got the four treadmills on the right end of the row of the treadmills, where you can set them up to the sled. You can choose 10, 20, maybe 30 kilograms, and it will be definitely better for your knees, because you're going to avoid the impact which you get when you're running. Both hands, and just push your absolute best, guys. Row machine could be good, but probably 30 seconds won't be enough on a row machine to get you to your max. So you might have to maybe extend that time a little bit. Remember, the extreme, it's the most important point. If you don't feel like you have to wait at least a minute after each sprint, it wasn't done right. Then we go Tuesday, day 4, which is the rest day. And I know some of you will probably are in a routine of doing maybe extra classes or swimming or doing a little bit cardio. And I'm not going to say straight away, that's totally fine. But take a little note of how much calories you burned in that class. The reason is that you don't want to burn or do less volume on the following weeks. It's a ladder stepping. So each week, as you're going to notice through the progression plan, we're doing more sprints, we're doing more cardio, we're doing more reps, or maybe we are adding extra rep or extra weight, because what we want to achieve is something we call a progressive overload. We have to make the week 2 harder than week 1. Week 3 needs to be harder than week 2, and so on. So if you're doing additional classes, you have to take a note of how much calories you're burning, because maybe by the end of the week you've noticed that you actually week 1 was harder than your week 2, and you have to top it up. I hope that makes sense. So to give you an example, if on, for example, day 4, you're doing like a HIIT class and you burn 200 calories, and the week after, if you're going to do the same HIIT class and you're going to burn also if you're going to burn, for example, 150 calories, you have to go on a treadmill and top it up with 50. Again, I hope it makes sense. It makes sense in my head, but if you feel like it doesn't, please drop me a message or drop the question on the Facebook, and I will try to explain it better. Good. Last file which you got on your WhatsApp, it's a food planner example. So I give you just more examples regarding for meal 1, so for your breakfast, more ideas for meal 2 or 3, and you got a box which is called additional. Additional is something what I personally do. So what I'm calling this, I'm taking the boxes of whatever my body might miss it. So omega-3, we know how important omega-3 is, essential fatty acids. Majority of the food is omega-6 loaded, which is the inflammatory marker. Omega-3 is anti-inflammatory marker. So we have to top it up omega-3 in order to bring a balance. And a good quality capsule, if you want some recommendations, drop me the question in Facebook, and I'll tell you what I'm personally taking and giving my family. And that also goes for multivitamin and minerals, guys. Even if you're having the healthiest diet in the world, you're probably still missing some vital minerals and vitamins, which will be affecting your health. And in creatine, there is a lot of research currently coming out for regarding creatine, how great it is for females, as it helps you to build stronger bones, stronger muscles, which is also a longevity factor for years to come. Guys, I hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any questions regarding exercises, also drop it in the Facebook. I could actually record a few videos. If you're struggling with someone, remember I'm at the gym. But also I would like to mention, you are. I've got a deal going with the Village Gym, and they said that they will be happy to give a 1 free personal training hour to actually go over your program. So if you're not feeling confident with some exercises, what I can organize for you, you can pick one from the Village Gym coaches. I think we got Natalie, we got Chloe, we got Beth, we got Brandon. I'm really sorry if I missed somebody, but you could probably pick one of them. We can book a free PT session, and they can go over that program with you. So you're going to have a professional actually watching you doing those exercises, or they can actually explain you exactly how to perform those exercises. If you're interested, if you feel like you need that extra help, let me know and I'll get that organized for you, okay? In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this chat. Remember, I'm just one message away on WhatsApp, and I hope to see you all posting your food plans and what follows with it, all the food pictures. Guys, that's going to be awesome for today. You're going to hear a lot from me. I'll be absolutely torturing you with messages. And let's go do it. Bye-bye.